Hello and welcome back. This is Chabi, and you're watching Captain's Call Live on Money Control. Tonight at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai, we have got one of those matches that doesn't need a build up, the kind that sells itself. It is Mumbai Indians versus Royal Challengers Bangalore. And if you are not excited about this one, I am genuinely worried about you. Now, here is the situation. Mumbai Indians made a winning start to their IPL season for the first time in 13 years, but after that, promptly lost both their games by big margins. One win from three, eighth on the points table. They are back home at the Wankhede with something massive to prove. Now, on the other side, the defending champions RCB have won two from three, but they too are coming off a loss, having been completely dismantled by Rajasthan Royals last time out. So both teams walk into tonight stung. Both teams want a statement. And right here, under the Mumbai lights, on one of the most batting friendly surfaces in world cricket, we are going to get one. Let's be honest, this rivalry comes preloaded with stories. Rohit Sharma versus Virat Kohli, Tim David and Krunal Pandya, both former MI players, now walking out in RCB colours at their old home, and two captains, Hardik Pandya and Rajat Patidar, who both won IPL titles in their very first season as captains. The stage is set, the crowd is ready, and so are we. So tonight we dive into the questions that every cricket fan is asking right now. Does this toss hand one team a decisive edge? How are the two captains going to set up their game plans on this pitch? And which overs are going to be the ones where this match gets completely rewritten? To break all of that down, I have with me this evening Ishan, who brings us the sharp, data driven lens of Trick Pulse predictions. Hello and welcome, Ishan. How are you?
Hi, Chabi. I can understand the confusion with Rajasthan Royals. They've been playing so well, winning all matches that you always want to watch them play. So it's not so much of an odd out that you want Rajasthan Royals to play every match.
Well, I agree with you, but tonight's match is nothing less than an attraction itself. And obviously, we have a very interesting evening ahead of us, and I'd say we should just begin.
So shall we start
So,
talk about this
yeah.
toss?
So,
Yeah,
yes, let's
I
start
think
with the toss. Team
I think
winning the toss at the
half of the
are
luck is there.
yes. They're almost always certain to bowl first to take advantage of the dew. And Pandya did exactly that. He won and opted to field first. Do you think the decision give the MI an upper hand tonight?
So numbers wise, yes, of course, 63% of the times the team winning the toss have went on to win the thing also. So if you win the toss, go on to chase, you win 63% of the time. So that's half the game that you played out there, which is a big thing. But what we need to see is how RCB actually comes out and plays. Also, you have to realize Wankhede is a pitch that has surprised in the past as well, right? Although we've seen high scores like 224 just at the start of the season this time around, we've seen that death overs can run away fast at this pitch. And chasing has had a slight edge, but only a slight one, not a great edge there. So if RCB can actually hold on to those first batting pairs and then down in the death overs can do that magic, probably you never know. This might be a very different game to see.
All right, talking about the power play, teams at this venue typically score 70 to 80 runs in the power play, one of the highest averages in the IPL. It's obviously a batter's paradise. But what does Trick Pulse predictions tell us tonight, Ishan?
So this is where it gets interesting, right? You have Virat Kohli and Salt playing on one side and Bumrah on the other, right? And it's a very interesting matchup. Let's go to the matchup fast part first here. So Kohli against Bumrah has a strike rate of about 109, a dismissal rate of about 20%, which is that about 1 in 5 times Kohli has gotten out to Bumrah in the first 3 overs of this game. Bumrah, on the other hand, has an economy of about 6.55. It's very interesting to see what happens here, and we would all be looking at this pair up also. Against Bolt, also, if you look at it, it's not an easy matchup there. Again, an economy of 6.89 and a 33% chance of taking a wicket. So Kohli needs to survive these first few overs with him. Also, Salt, again, the problem with Salt has been excellent strike rates, excellent everything, but you go down to the third over and the dismissal rate just jumps up to about 40%. You don't have a head to head for him, but Bolt also actually starts getting more runs, hit for more runs. But again, great wicket ratios in that. So I think those would be the key play ups here that we would want to watch out for. So the first over, I would say the first few overs, we would want to see how Salt and Kohli do, because there's a good chance of one of them getting out. On the other hand, we want to see how Bolt, Bumrah, or Deepak Chahar for that matter comes in and plays around this pitch. Uh, the second part of this, if I say 4 to 8, where RCB actually develops a batting, has a batting edge on the batting side if they come to bat, but here we want to see what happens with Rickleton, with we want to see what happens with Patidar if he comes in around this stage, because he's got a good strike rate of about 150, but there's a good probability of him also getting out around that time. Salt gets out in about 19 balls, so every 19 balls he has that chance. For Patida, that's about 23, 24 balls. Kohli, if he sticks by around this time, then you cannot get him out during that time. That's his play that is there.
Exactly. Now, every IPL match has 2 or 3 overs where the whole thing cracks open. The overs where one team suddenly feels the pressure shift. Tonight at Wankhede, which 3 overs are those going to be?
So, Shavi, here it's very interesting what happens onto this part of this game. So, for RCB, I would say the batting side, the first few overs are the most critical. As we've been talking about it, they need to survive those first few overs, and if they do it, it's an excellent thing. So, the first 4 overs, if I were to take at it, they have about a strike rate of about 164 there. So that's their strongest that they come out with. For Mumbai Indians, despite Bumrah and everything that we've been seeing, right, the strongest phase is actually the fourth to eighth over, if we exclude the death overs that are there. And those are the ones that actually would make a difference. And this is where your Pandya and your Bolt actually come in. Right. So we want to see from that perspective. And when Mumbai Indians actually come to bowl, we would want to see again fourth to eighth over, and we would want to look at how things are panning out there in terms of how RCB bowlers actually react. So when they're there, so Kumar, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Pandya, Karun Pandya, how they play out, that would be the interesting aspect there.
All right, moving on, let's have a look at the numbers. Now, in this rivalry, the numbers tell a clear story. Across 34 IPL matches, Mumbai Indians lead Bangalore 19 wins to 14. MI have been the dominant franchise historically in this fixture. But this season obviously narrates a completely different story, Ishan. So, Hardik Pandya versus Rajat Patidar. Who do you give the edge to tonight?
I think uh, I think Pandya might have a edge there, a very slight one though, right? When they start playing, and depends on which part of the game actually you're looking at. So where I would actually want to look at both the players, and this is where you would also see is over 12 to 15. What happens in those overs? And there actually Patidar becomes very dangerous against Pandya. Right, you have a 190 strike rate, close to 190, and Pandya has never actually got Patidar out. But if you change the equation there, it might be a bit different. Pandya comes in the early overs, and Patidar comes in the early overs, 4 to 8. That window that we've been talking about, it's a very different game.
All right, now final question, and it is prediction time, Ishan. So, not just who wins or which team plays better cricket. I want to know this: which single player tonight from either side walks off this ground having absolutely made the match their own? One player.
I would go with Romario if he's playing. Right. I think
All right.
that would be the player I would want to see. If he is there, I think that would be the one that might make a difference on this pitch, right? And the reason I'm saying it is, you look at Romario in the death overs, and it's a very different game that he plays around that time, right? Strike rate goes up to 246, 2 which is all that you have, and even as a bowler around that time, I think nine is every 9 balls he'll take a wicket, and economy is very high. But that would be one part I would look at from this side. The other aspect, I would say, I would want to look at what Bumrah does. I think that would be very important in the initial overs, whether he changes the game or not. And if he does change the game, then I don't think so. They have another win on their hands.
Well, personally too, I think Bumrah always stands up and always shows up when when his team needs him the most. But I feel we'll have to wait till the end of the match to see how precisely your prediction lands tonight. But with this, we have reached the end of our show tonight. Thank you so much, Ishan, for joining us. It has been a pleasure. And ladies and gentlemen, that is our show tonight. And honestly, what more do you need? Rohit, Kohli, Bumrah, Wankhede, and Sunday night. This is what the IPL was made for. Now, before the first ball goes down, the comment section is open and we want to hear from you. Not just who you think wins, tell us something specific. Which over tonight do you think is the one that decides everything? Is it a Bumrah over in the power play? Is it Tim David going absolutely berserk in the death over? Is it Kohli and Salt versus Bumrah and Bolt in those first 6 overs? Drop your call in the comments because we will be reading all of them. We will be back tomorrow, same time, same place, right here on Money Control Live for another IPL pre-match special. Same energy, same conversations, same commitment to giving you cricket the way it deserves to be talked about. Until then, enjoy this one. This is Chubby signing off and have a very good night.